to another installment of movie reviews. This time, we're going to be looking at the 2002 television movie Carrie. So, let's get into this mix. I'm your host, Red Hood 29. Let's get into this mix. So, the film starts off, Carrie, just being Carrie, going to school, coming home, uh, dealing with her religious mother. And so, one day she goes, to school, and, one day Carrie goes to school, tries out, everybody's, on the field playing baseball, whatnot. She's not very good. So the coach or teacher, whatever, like scolds the popular kid for like making fun of her, and while they in the shower or whatnot, Carrie like she's washing herself, and winds up discovering that she's bleeding. She her period started. So the other girls, are relentless, and they start bullying her and teasing her, and so the teacher or the gym coach or whatever comes by and like helps Carrie up, and like reprimands the bully the bully girls. And so it cuts back to like it cuts back to like a police officer interrogating like people for some unknown reason that we gonna find out later. But anyway, Carrie's like going, you know, just going through the school. She gets to her locker, opens up her locker, and like, it's just girls, the bullies in general. They could be cruel. It's it's not your fault, but it's their fault. They weren't given enough attention at home or something. Like bullies nowadays, they feel like they could like pick on somebody just because they can. That'll make them feel like adequate. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. Carrie opens up her locker and finds like a stream of like tampons just falling out of her locker, and the girls chant, plug it up, plug it up, plug it up. And and so Susie, a character who is standing up for Carrie, she winds up, standing up for her. She was like, hey, knock it off. And so, she goes, Carrie goes back home. Actually, I take that back. She doesn't go home right away. She goes to the library and uh, looks up, telekinesis, cause while she's going home, she winds up uh knocking the bike kid off his bike, and so yeah, and then she goes home, and then she deals with her mother, who is like extremely religious, and her mom, like every time like she doesn't do what her mom says, her mom like locks her up in a closet. And so and then cut to when Carrie was younger. Carrie found a girl like sunbathing, and she was like, hey, what are those? And she was like, oh, these are breasts. You gonna grow? She was like, I wish I had some. And then the girl was like, hey, you gonna get some? And then Carrie's mom was like uh berating the girl, and then the girl chimed back like, hey, like, hey, you old hag, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't talk to me like that. And then Carrie's mom, like, pulls her in the house where, you know, Carrie starts screaming, her mom starts screaming, and then, like, asteroids start falling from the house. It was all a dream orchestrated by Carrie to deal with, her home life. But, I digress. So, uh, yeah, the gym coach or teacher, whatever have you, like tells the bullied kid who, the bully, whoever orchestrated the prank on Carrie is not allowed to go to prom. And so to get back at the teacher slash and or Carrie, they wind up like enlisting the help of their boyfriend, and and then it cuts to you know a police station where like the police officers like interrogating the people of like of what happened, and then Carrie gets asked to prom. Carrie says yes. Susie and Carrie, they hang out more, and yeah, on the night of prom, Carrie's mom like, hey, I don't think you should go to prom. She was like, hey, I don't think you should go to prom. They all gonna laugh at you, which is why where the line originated from, the older version of Carrie. So she was like, hey, I'm good. I'm gonna go to prom. I'm gonna have a good time. Cut to, the bullies. They wind up, finding a pig and like cutting it open and pouring the pig's blood in a bucket and then hanging the pig's blood like in the breaking inside of the gymnasium to uh yeah, they wound up breaking inside the gymnasium of the school to hang up the pig's blood up on the rafters, so when the prom king and queen they show up, it'll dump the bucket of pig's blood. Uh, the so yeah, everybody winds up attending prom. The teacher slash uh, PE coach winds up blackmailing the student. The She winds up blackmailing Carrie's prom date. He was like, "Hey, well, if you don't treat her with the respect that she deserves, I'm gonna personally make your life a living hell," which is dumb to me, at least, cause like he ain't even have anything to do with Carrie getting bullied. Like, how can you tell? Like, but anyway, the pig's blood gets. Oh, I take that back. Um, So Carrie gets asked to dance by her prom date. They dance. She gets nominated, prom queen. He gets nominated prom king. They share a dance. They, standing in the middle of the throne, a makeshift prom throne, where the bucket of blood is getting pulled by Billy and her mans. Shit goes sideways, and she unleashes her telekinetic powers, electrocuting people, throwing like flaming debris at people, so, to a point where only 11 out of the hundreds of people wind up escaping through this air duct, like below the inches below the floor. where people got electrocuted. Sprinklers, start going off, and like yeah, she electrocutes like a lot of people and kills a lot of people. So after the 11 people wind up escaping, she winds up like leaving school, wandering around. Um, the bully girl winds up tracking her down, just driving throughout town, hits the gas on her Mustang or whatever car it was. Winds Carrie sees this and like immediately crushes the car off of some chronicles where the guy has telekinetic powers also and winds up crushing the car like like this. And so and then Carrie winds up flipping the car. The car like cracks his gas tank and the car explodes, killing the main girl. She winds up going home and telling her mom about her experience at prom. Her mom tries to drown her, and then using her powers, Carrie, causes a cardiac arrest, a heart attack, killing the mom. And then Susie comes to like save Carrie. They wind up like hiding her in this abandoned house. Yeah, they wind up hiding her in this abandoned. Yeah, they wind up hiding her in this abandoned, locked up shed or whatever. And then the police, wind up questioning the teacher. He was like, hey, so am I to understand like this was caused by magic? She was like, no, I expect you to believe me when I tell you something that you cannot explain. This was caused by a girl getting bullied. And so, like, after that, Carrie and Susie wind up placing flowers on, her grave, her and her mom's grave. And then, Carrie has a nightmare where Susie turns into her mom. Carrie wakes up in a car or truck, and Susie was like, hey, I'll take you as far as, Florida, but then I gotta get back. I gotta get back home. And then the movie cuts off. Me personally, I wish they would have, dove deep into like me personally, I wish that they would have, dove deep into like you know, how Susie and Carrie are like dealing with the aftermath of this. Are they going to like go find, kids with a similar ability as, Carrie to help them? Or what? Like, let me know. But anyway, uh, all in all, I enjoyed this movie, this 2002 TV movie version of Carrie. This has been Fuck Around and Find Out, the playlist for, Carrie 2002 TV movie version. Stay tuned for The Rage 2 Carrie. As always, I'm your host, Red Hood 29. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.